Hello, hello, hello. What's going out there? What's going out there? What is going out there? What's going on out there, crypto world? Stonk world? Futures world? I guess silver world now. Whatever the newest meme of the day is. We're in meme clown world now. It's the newest version of it. It's amazing, isn't it? Can't deny any of that. I think there's going to be a shortage of popcorn, probably. Is there going to be a short squeeze on popcorn coming soon? Popcorn futures coming out? Do they have those? Let's see. Popcorn futures. Oh, no, they don't have them yet. Maybe coming soon. I did see FTX actually put GME futures on their platform, which is pretty freaking wild. Hey, whatever. They had other stuff too on there, so it's not the first stock they put on there. Alrighty, whatever though. Who cares about that? Let's start talking about the markets and charts, because that's the most important thing. All that other crap is mostly noise. Charts be telling you stuff, man. You don't need to really look at anything else, in my opinion, except for price action. Let me just show you something real quick, even though I don't want to pull this up, but I'm going to, just to kind of reiterate what I'm saying. All the way back over here, even on a weekly time frame, just basic TA, even if you wanted to wait a little bit for the EMAs to get above, like we like to do here. But you can see even on DMI, weekly it was above 26 way back in August. Back here, it got very bullish on this structure. Way before any of this crap. Well before any of this crap. Price action. That's right. Enough said on that. Bitcoin. BTC, baby. But not the one on TradeStation, though. We're going to get this regular one. Ooh, buddy. No, I don't like this. This is not my favorite setup. Just getting Mo rejected, coming back below the trend line. This is the total market cap right here. Rejection. It tried to do okay yesterday. This is actually today's candle, technically, because it just closed about an hour ago. This is the new candle for Monday. So kind of coming out of it and rolling right back over. Not super great, although there's not much to read into that one. The worst part about it is on spot price. This daily candle is no bueno. I don't like it, especially followed by indecision, and then now we got it followed by this kind of little mini engulfing of the previous 2 days. And we're getting a little bit of follow through. Now, again, we do have the whole damn day on this candle that's forming now. So we can't really talk about that one on a daily, but what we can do is go down here to the 3 hour, and we can talk about that. So, kind of rolling back over. Not the sexiest price action like we were talking about yesterday. We wanted to see the follow through here, get it in, but we are barely riding the damn mama average here, battling this 32.7 area. But geez, yeah, I mean, Bitcoin can't make this any more range and difficult and frustrating for either side, really, even if you're bearish or bullish. So that kind of has been fun, but hey, this is the game we play, right? Let's see. I wanted to see if it closed. No, it did stay above the 10 simple, so I guess that's okay for the bear or for the bulls. But now we're starting to build quite a bit of resistance, confirming this projection on the mama over here at this 30, like mid 33,000 areas. It's struggling so far. We're probably going to need to go through this week to really see what's going to be going down. because we are getting pressed into this trend line. And we do not, like we've talked about, if this turns into actually being a false breakout and we lose 31.5 on this 3-hour time frame, we get a body below that. You can see how the 377 is coming up too. Like, we're getting super squeezed into this. I mean, even if it just went sideways from here, about the 4th would be resolution, unless it just goes straight sideways through it. I have seen that on Bitcoin particularly a few times. It does not happen very often in stocks and other tradables, but definitely on BTC I've seen that a few times. We'll see if we can hold on. Right now though, it's definitely struggling for sure. Ethereum, which we'll get to here in a second, is also looking a little bit weak, and Litecoin's been looking weak for a hot minute, so there ain't nothing new about that. There are some big movers today. Dogecoin popping up. What a move off that low. We will talk about that here in a little bit. GRT popping. I mean, so there's been some stuff. So that's decent to see that not everything is just dumping when Bitcoin's selling off here. But again, it's just waiting. The market's kind of like, oh, if Bitcoin wants to stay in this range, then F it, we're good to go. And this range, though, again, is lower highs and lower lows. So technically on a daily, we do have pretty bearish structure right now. And that's not sexy. We don't want to see that. Well, I mean, unless you're bearish as hell, then yeah, you do want to see that. But again, same as yesterday, we lose that 31.5 on this time frame. It's not going to be good. Futures obviously gapping down, catching up with some of the price action over this weekend, showing the same type of ugly ass candle from Friday that we saw. And if you don't remember, that's this guy over here getting rejected. Was getting real excited. I guess everybody got trapped in the Elon pump here and Mr. Beast pump and all this other crap. Like, oh, we're changing our descriptions to Bitcoin hashtags. Yeah. Yeah, you can see it went right up to this 37.5 level, spinning top, rejection immediately. So a little bit of a trap there, a little trappy trap for sure. But again, I mean, we're still freaking ranging, and this has just been super frustrating for a lot of people. But as long as we're still staying in this damn range, it's kind of just the same ball game. Above 31.5, and it's okay. And as soon as we potentially can break over these highs, which would coincide, unless it did it in like tomorrow or today, it's going to just happen at the same time. Mama, trend line, local highs. So massive resistance there. Any kind of sustained movement above that, especially on the daily. You can see even the daily went right to the mama here, 35,000. So, yeah, hardcore supply up there. But we got to kind of wait until everybody's back in the game here Monday morning. Should be a doozy of a week, though. So do be ready. Don't be sleeping in and shit. Be getting get your notes ready, all that kind of crap. Ethereum, though, is kind of looking a little bit rough here. Getting below all of the... even the mama, it's now closing below. But it's still got this major 200 MA, which has bounced off of pretty much like this whole rally. It had a little blip right here, ended up getting caught by the 377, which happens a lot. Those are generally actually pretty good buy zones if you're in an overall uptrend. Obviously sell zones if you're in a macro downtrend. And right now we are in macro uptrend. Obviously on the weekly, you can see we're well above the 10 simple, which has been a concern of the last couple weeks that we've spoken about a lot. It's just like Ethereum's still 20% above its shortest term moving average. So that's really, really high above it. But I mean, just more consolidating. This one doesn't have as much lower high structure. It's more of like ascending triangle type structure on the medium time frames. So, and it's still barely holding onto it, it looks like. You could do it from there. You could also just anchor it from right here too. Yeah, if you kind of just anchor it from here with bodies, you're actually potentially about to break it. And any other way you want to do it with wicks, I kind of like to split the differences. It's kind of how I do it. So we're like right on right on the cusp of breaking out, which coincides nice with this 200 MA right here. So Ethereum looking a little bit weak. Daily, how'd that daily close today? Yeah, right on the damn 10 simple. And like we said earlier, this daily just started printing, so it's still got 23 hours before that goes down. So nothing too crazy. As long as it holds again at 1250, nothing's changed over the last freaking week, pretty much. So yeah, there's that. It is getting below the mama though. Getting a little pressure. Litecoin. Oh, Litecoin is looking we're at the last line of support on this horizontal that is drawn at 127, bouncing right on it. Any closes below these candles right here, we're probably going to test the bottom of this range, and we need to fix your Microsoft account. Hey, F off, Bill Gates. Tell me what to do. Yeah, so that's the last line of defense right here. You can see on the 55 too. So decent support, but again, last line of defense. And we did just get a print on the 3 hour up here on the historical volatility. So it's going to be expanding from here pretty damn soon, because zero is just doesn't happen often. And like we've talked about a lot, that does not help imply direction at all whatsoever. You can see back here, the last time it was zero, it ended up popping up really hard. And then here's a couple other times, zero, still went flat for a couple days and then ended up rallying pretty good. And here's another one where it had a little mini of dump, little 10% dump. But, I mean, I guess 10% is a pretty good amount. And then some shenanigans here, but mostly just sideways. So kind of last line of defense for Litecoin is where we're at. Any daily below this structure right here, 120, super no bueno. But hey, it's trying to hold on. We do have, you can do the bias buster. If we flip this, you just invert the chart. You can do that Alt-I. Or I think you can actually put like -2 up here in front of the ticker. But Alt-I is just way faster to do. And so it flips the chart up. And so if you looked at this chart, you'd be like, oh, that's super bullish, right? Be like, damn, opening up EMAs above all the, chronological order, all that fashion, blah, blah, blah. You kind of have to take off the oscillators because it doesn't flip the oscillators, just the chart. You're like, oh, that looks bullish as hell. We closed above this and we were going to be running. But the problem is that's actually bearish setup. So not sexy on Litecoin. It's been looking weak, though, to be fair, for a while. It even kind of has a little descending triangle on it, while Ethereum has a this has a descending triangle on it, while Ethereum has a little bit of an ascending triangle on it. So kind of conflicting stuff going on there. All right, let's move on to the best coin in the world. For sure. Can't even debate it. Garlic House, Garlic token. There actually was a Garlic coin back in the day. It's pretty funny. I mined some of it back in the day. It didn't do shit, obviously. I mean, it was a meme coin talking about garlic bread and toasting that shit, and it was goofy as hell. Let's see. Looks pump, man. This is some strong pumping, man. This looks nice. Lots of volume continuation on this too. I mean, let's go down here. Yeah, we're well above 26. Actually, why is there not horizontals on this B? Let's just add them real quick. Badow. Obviously this is super steep, but still nonetheless, he had this nice on the medium time frames. I mean, this is a real good setup for the upside. Definitely missed that one. But anything above 38 cents, this is still on. I mean, if you want to be real conservative, any close below this immediate structure at about 44 cents, and any 3 hour close below this 10 simple, the cyan line, would probably warrant a test back into at least 21 and probably 55. That would probably give enough energy to get that going. But yeah, this is pretty odd. No one probably expected this one to happen. Probably one of the better performers of the last week or so. DOT, same bullshit. Not even going to talk about it. This range, I mean, if you can't see this range right here on the top of this, even on a daily, I'm not sure what to tell you. It's right there. Bam. It's like a little box even. So, ADA is going to be the same. Yeah, I'm going to keep this one pretty fast because I'm kind of in the middle of doing some shift action too. And I was like, well, I'm just going to take a quick little break and see what happens. Maybe I can squeeze it in. Because, you know, when you got some kiddos, sometimes you got to do that. So, but let's see if we do Link. Link still looks okay above this local low. Or, yeah, about 21 bucks. Still all right. And the medium time frame still looks decent-ish. Although I don't like it taking out this low. But I'm going to default to higher time frames here. Weekly, there's not enough time on that biatch. Yeah, but this looks okay on a daily as long as we're staying above $21. $20 if you want to give it a little bit more breathing room. BCH dumping. This does not look good. Just riding this trend line down. That's not what you want to see if you're bullish, obviously. Neutral, though, on the DMI. So the bears aren't firmly in control just quite yet. So that's probably the best sign. Really, you got to take out this 375 for it to get real heated. But it is starting to look a little bit bad, to be fair. But not quite out of the woods. This is the new fresh candle, so kind of have to ignore that one on the daily. Right on the mama. I mean, this is... It doesn't get more annoying than this, that's for sure. BSV trying to keep its momentum going, but finding lots of resistance. BSV just can't get no love. I guess no one likes Craig Wright. I wonder who's more hated, Craig Wright or Garlic House. It's a tough one. I'm not sure which one I would pick. I guess if someone made me pick, I'd probably pick Craig Wright for that because they're like, oh, that's not the real Satoshi, man. I don't have an opinion on that. Whatever. Well, I do, but we're not going to talk about that. Not right now. BSV. So, yeah, as long as it holds this little mama level, which is right where this trend line's coming up, about 170-ish, looks okay. Kind of sucks it's giving all this back up, though. It looked a lot better, and now we're kind of rolling over, spaghettiing. But we do have DMI bulls still in the power zone. So that's the best looking part about that, which is kind of what happened with Doge, which we'll talk about here in a second. So yeah, but oh yeah, BSV for upside, we got to get for sure above 180, really above this candle here, like 185, and then that would probably bring us up to at least 190-ish, and then we'll have to reassess. But just so much lull right now in the market. Boring XMR just basing down here. Let's look at a weekly. It looks okay on a weekly though, as long as it holds about 120, 125. I wouldn't be too concerned about it, but we are starting to get back below mama. MAs are all opening up, and they are in chrono order here, except you do have the long terms below it. So that's not as good a conviction because that's major support riding up on it, which is why you're seeing a lot of these wicks get bid up here too. Okay, so anything below 125 though, I would be very cautious on Monero. Let's see, Zcash. Zcash looks about the same. It looks, I guess it's a little bit better because, let me go back. Yeah, because it's in between the 200 and 377, so that's nicer. And we are looking like we might start curling back up over here. Let's look at DMI. Yeah, bulls are starting to get into control a little bit. So this actually looks better than Monero. As long as this holds like 80 bucks, this probably has a good chance of hitting 90. And then we'll have to just see what happens after that. Dash. Nope, not good. We're below everything. And this one does have everything. Well, actually, almost. You can see it's so close. If price stays below mama for another couple hours or for another couple candles, then we will have chronological EMAs all the way up. And that's not super sexy. So Dash not looking too hot. But on the daily... Yeah, above 85. We'll kind of keep it from the same as yesterday, and it's all right. Dogecoin. Doge had a nice little pop today, like we were talking about. the video yesterday that this would be the perfect spot for it to have a pump out of from the oscillators, and that came through fruition very well. Very nice. Looks like we're coming right back to test at the mid 55 range on RSI on the 3 hour. So as long as this stays back above 100, it's okay. But getting this rejection at our horizontal up here at about 130, and ultimately, I think what the hell was the move I had on here earlier? Let me redraw it. Yeah, about this area, about 150, one mid, man, I can't even talk. 155-ish, right around there to the upside. Even a closure above 137 or 8 on the 3 hour probably gets us to that back up to like 170s. So I'm kind of looking for that. That would be interesting, but so far kind of getting rejected, but above 100, we're all good. I like it. Let's see. And let's look at DMI real quick. Yeah, DMI is coming back up. Yeah, so that doesn't look too shabby. ES, let's see what ES is doing. We did have futures open just short time ago. You can see they dumped, getting a little bit of rally, but finding resistance here at the top of this candle. So not out of the woods until we go above 3,700. You can see that we did get caught right here at the devil's number we've been talking about. That would be the target if we closed the daily below the trend line and ultimately below the 21 EMA, which happened. Rejection at the 21, continuation. So this is a pretty ugly ass chart for ES. Don't like that, but finding support right there at the Devil's Cove. So pretty funny that, like, that's just how it's been, you know. I mean, look at all this business here getting bid up. It'll slice through it, come back up, slice through it, come back up. Pretty funny. We'll see if that holds. Any daily close below the devil's number here, I would be looking for targets back into this box down here, like probably another 200 points lower. First stop would be about 35.30 at this horizontal, and then the next one would be this box down here, this gray box. So that's definitely in the cards if we close the daily below the Devil's Cove, 366. NASDAQ looks a little bit better, not as, excuse me, not as below, not even below, sorry, not as far below. It's not even below or even close to the mama, not below the 55. So that looks pretty good. Better, I mean, it looks better than ES. But, let's see here. We are getting a little bit of bullish divergence from these points from here to here. Just a little bit. You can see from there to there, you got some higher highs or higher lows on RSI from this structure to here. So we still need a few more candles, though. By the morning time, we'll see if that still stays intact, but looking pretty decent. All right, let's go to YM. Yeah, bouncing right off his horizontal. Look at that at 29.5. We did go test it right at the open on futures. Looks real similar to ES. Again, if the daily closes below 29.3, this is what's this local candle here? Yeah, 29.3 probably gets us to that 21 area, and then after that we'd have to reassess, but I do think it's pretty likely that anything closing below 29.3 will get us back testing in this range. Hell, that's probably gonna be 1,000-ish points lower, so not super sexy. Rut is actually finding resistance at the 2060 level after opening up down here, just selling off, and now we're right back up to it. We'll see what it does after that, if this turns into some kind of like hammer type formation on the 3 hour and possibly the daily. Obviously we have to wait till tomorrow for that to finish closing, but there's going to be major overhead resistance between 2080 and 2100. Lots of resistance up there. Ultimately, I mean, even short term, yeah, this 280 is going to be kind of tough from this big candle engulfing all that action. and this ugly ass wick on this candle. So I have to just see what goes on there over this week. Like I said, it should be a doozy. Dixie is putting the pressure on. It tried to rally up on the open. We can zoom in right here. Giving it up, finding a base right here where it was all the last session on Friday. Right on that damn trend line. Generally, when you see this stuff, it does break the trend. It's higher. It's got more probability to break it than it does to roll over. And this is a good spot, like we were talking about DOGE yesterday, for maybe some possible reset action, especially if the bears get pushed back into the weak zone down here, sub 16. That would probably happen. There's major support though on dollar and the 90 handle. Just a lot of support. Any daily close above this range, especially above the 55. 90 80s where that's printed roughly now. Just round that up to about 91 bucks. Watch out for commodities and markets and a lot of stuff. That wouldn't bode well for a lot of them. Gold looks like booty, just flat on the day, especially compared to its little brother, which we'll be looking at here in a second. But there's nothing new about this chart. I mean, we couldn't be riding this damn trend line any harder than we are. I mean, look at this, all the way back to 10th of January. So that has been almost a whole month, 24 days. 24 days of just some ugly, sloppy crappiness. We've been talking about it a lot. Same shit, different day, above the 1860s. Really above 1870 now with this business here, and anything back below this trend line in this immediate structure about 1830-ish, probably we'll get some lower lows going in. Silver though is saying nope, we're just gonna moon. We're mooning right now, although kind of an ugly candle so far on the 3 hour. That just gave up pretty much all of it. Well, I'm sorry, not all of it, but a good chunk of it, because you have to take it from down here. So, was up about 8%. It has given up about a third of that so far. We'll see. We really got to wait for this data to close, because if this thing can close up and gap up again, that's going to be pretty wild. I know there's a lot of chatter about silver right now. Again, one more again. If we go to the weekly on silver, but way before any of this crap happened, Wall Street bets or whatever the hell you want to apply a lot of this hype from, the weekly got bullish as hell on silver way back here in the summer. You have the expanding EMAs opening up above all of them, chronological order, and to be conservative on this candle here, when it does break over all these highs, I mean, that was hey, the party is on. And that was July 6th. Way before anything that's happened in the last week, 2 weeks, with all this shenanigans. So again, price action will tell you this stuff. There's, like, demand just doesn't pop up out of nowhere. People will establish positions over time, especially larger money. They can't just go in and buy, 1 billion shares like on the open market right now. It takes a while for them to scale in. It's a lot harder than when you're just buying 500,000 or 100,000 or even a few 100,000. It can absorb that really easy. But when you've got trillions of dollars under management, you got to be patient to get into your positions. And so just wanted to show that again. Let price tell you what's up, man. Don't overthink it. Palladium. Platinum is looking pretty sexy. Look at that. All right, so for comparison, let's go back over here. And I think I can take this off. Oh, no, not on futures. It won't let me do it. Well, I'll just do it the bootleg way. So you can see here, getting up over all the MAs, chronoing it up, opening up, expanding, getting higher highs from the last, year of business, and then it blows up, right? Look what Palladium's doing now. Look at this. Opening up, now getting over all of the MAs. I mean, this is starting to look like a really good chart for Palladium. Or, I'm sorry, for Platinum. It's just mind-blowing to me that it went all the way down to $600. Totally didn't even look at that in the Corona sell-off. Wow, what a That, I mean, when was the last time it was even that cheap? Shit, pre-2000, yeah, pre-2000s. Bounced right off that 2000 super run right there. Look at that. How funny. And all this business back here going back to the 80s on the futures. So, but yes, I was just kind of, that's pretty funny that it looks very similar to what silver did back here before it broke out. So, oh, and you're above all of them. That's a key too, is to be above all that and above your previous price structure. Because a lot of times you'll get these expansions, and don't get me wrong, you'll get some good moves out of there. Like this one ran up still 15-20% up at the peak. No, but it was all still below the longer term moving averages, and you can see it got sandwiched between them, like we're seeing on a lot of cryptocurrencies between the 200 and 377. And ultimately rolls over for a little bit of a fake out and getting majorly pumped up. But now we had all of them above that back here, and we just rallied up on to the moon, man, silver moon. So platinum is kind of getting a little platinum moonshot. So as long as platinum's holding like 950 to 1,000, this is starting to look like a really good chart. Let's look at a monthly. Monthly still's got some work to do. You can see monthly we're in that range between the 200 and the 377, but it is showing about the same major support level at about a little lower at about 90.30. So, and major resistance there at the 1200 level. So anything above 1200 on platinum, it's going to look real good. I'm going to go ahead and put me an alert up there because I want to know when and if that happens. I also want to know if it breaks back below 963, and maybe because I might want to buy some down there possibly, depending on how it gets there. All right, awesome. I think that's going to be it for today. I'm going to wrap it up with DOS Bitcoin. Oh, not the futures. I won't spot. Actually, hold on real quick. Let me see here. Okay. Yeah, if you do it all the way from back there, which is probably the better way to do it on... Yeah, okay, it is. All right. So that's interesting. It's a slightly different type trend line on the futures. The futures actually kind of look a little bit better. They look a little bit more bullish than the spot price does. Because even if you draw this intermediate term speed line here, it did break, test, broke back above it, and it's still kind of in between it. And we are right here in this little camel hump pool thing on Mama that we talk about sometimes, where it starts to go up and make a little bowl, or the camel hump type thing where it goes here. A lot of times price will get caught in that region. It's a very important level. And you can see how it's quite different on spot price. See, we're kind of like in the bowl here, riding up against the other side of it. But on here, we're like way before the bowl. And let's see. Oh, you've got DMI both above 26. That is pretty rare. Usually don't see that too often. Yeah, see, so that's funny. So on futures, bulls are pretty dominant right now, with bears attempting to get some control. But when you go to spot, it's extremely neutral. And it's probably safer to err on the side of the futures market. That's just a lot where smart money is at. Man, actually, now that I'm looking at this, let's do something. I'm going to do something real quick on this stream here. Let's see if I go to... how can I do this? I'm going to go over here real quick. I'm going to change something on the... All right, get a different tab. We got paper trading tab open here. I'm just going to do something. We're just gonna F around, have some fun. I'll close that. We can't even do that. I'm just gonna buy a little bit of Bitcoin here on my little paper fun account. Buy it. All right, so I'm gonna buy that guy, and then I'm just going to chill and see what happens. Add an alert here. If it crosses down there, I'll get out. Crosses between these lows, I'll get out. But I kind of do like this structure as a low risk entry for longs because it'll be easy to manage. If it gets back below here, it's pretty much done. So ultimately, if you wanted to be a little bit, because I know Bitcoin can move crazy, and it is only 4 or 5% to the 200 or the 377. So I'm going to hold this on the 3 hour unless we break below the 377 on a closing basis. And then we'll just see what goes on from there. Just kind of show that going down. All right. I think that'll do it. I think I'm going to sign off now. Thanks for tuning in. Much love. Happy trading. All that stuff. Hope your weekend was amazing. Let's get it in for a good week this week. And that'll do it for this Sunday show. Actually, it won't. Just kidding. This just in. I forgot the monthly just closed. So let's do high time frame analysis because that only happens every month. You know, it's one time, 12 times a year, one time a month. Not super ugly. Still up here on the tops of the ranges. Can I just do drawings? Yeah, we just want to hide drawings. There we go. Not too shabby. Coming up here, I mean, it's kind of giving up some of the gains, but I mean, it's not that crazy of a candle. So monthly looks pretty damn strong still. A lot of volume on this monthly, too. Most volume on Bitstamp ever, actually. Wow, wouldn't have guessed that. Doubling the top of December. Now that is interesting. This month is going to be real important, guys. February, after seeing that, I have not looked at the monthly. That just kind of dawned on me that it is monthly analysis time. All right, what is BTC? Oh, damn it. All right, so, yeah, guys, that sucks kind of. Spinny top doji on the monthly, on futures. Damn. In the most volume. With a very similar candle type back over here. Huh. All right. Doesn't mean a whole lot. It's not super bearish. A doji is not inherently bearish. It's just indecision of the market. So on this monthly close, which is at 34.8, so 35,000 roughly. Yeah, so that's going to be major. Getting above 35K on the daily would be really nice. And I bet you this closed just shy of it, didn't it? Yep. Oh, wow. I think it closed on the same. Oh, because it was the same day. Wait, let me go to spot. I don't want to do it like that. 34,323. 33,141. Okay. So that was a decent attempt right here then. So if bulls are going to do it, they better get their shit in gear real soon off that monthly chart and get some continuation, or it's going to get pretty damn ugly in the Bitcoin world. Let's do monthly ETH real quick. We're just going to run through these. Well, monthly ETH is just saying, what's up, bitches? This is a great looking chart. Man, yeah, I mean, we're above all of that. Would have been nice if we could get over this wick here at, what is that, the 1420 area. Yep, 1420. Great number. That would have been a lot better. But hey, that's a great start. So can't get too mad about that. All right, monthly. We don't have ETH futures yet to do on that, so we'll skip that. Monthly on Litecoin, bleh, not very sexy. Kind of just reaffirming the range that we've been in since, holy moly, since 2018, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, it didn't really get established till 2019. But so for the last couple years. But if this stays up here, though, you're going to get all the MAs starting to point up here in the next month or two. So that it could build out to be nice and get serial with it. I mean, we are 40% away from the medium-term averages. All right. Yeah, so, yeah, monthly, it's okay. It looked a lot worse at first glance, but holding, again, it's funny. It's right around that 120 area, medium term. But long term, this thing could even get down like all the way to like $100, like in almost 90 even, and still be okay for really long term. All right, Ripple, Rips monthly. Attempting, look at this. This is pretty mean. Up 177%, down 66%, up 125%. It did close above the mama, though, so that's nice. Do like that. Yeah, wow, what a ride. So, yeah, again, holding monthlies confirming to what we said earlier around that 38-cent level. And ultimately about 32 cents, 33 cents. And then if it breaks that, it's going to dump back into the 20, like mid-20s probably. But that's interesting. Let's go to ES monthly because those are closed too. Look at that. A little spinny top on ES as well. Huh. That is interesting. So you can see that spinning top here did have a rollover. Kind of doji, mini doji here. Had a little hammer, but then it was had follow through. So there's one that didn't really play out. I guess to be fair, though, it ended up touching and testing the 21 on the monthly, so it did have a sell-off in there, but ended up closing nice at the end of the month. Here's a doji, spinny doji that ended up rolling over. Here's one that did not, immediately just got bid back up. So yeah, like I said, it's not directional, it's just indecision. So on ES, yeah, the 3760 area, which is where the breakdown was from, back over here, where what we were kind of talking about the last few days. So yeah, I mean, weekly looks okay. Monthly has a really far ways away, though. We could dump damn 12% on this shit and still be pretty freaking bullish, which is crazy to think about in traditional markets. All right, cool. I'm going to sign off, I believe. After that, I don't think I need to look at any other monthly. Maybe the Dixie monthly might be worth a gander. Okay, this is a good little bottoming pattern here. I like that. Kind of giving us, I bet the top of that is right, yep, right at the resistance area. So, again, more confluence at that 91 level on the dollar. Any moves, I think even wicks above 91 on the dollar, just period, is going to usher in a pretty good upside move on this biatch. All right, what else? Let's look at monthly Doge because that's always super important. I'm just kidding. It really isn't. Biggest move ever, pretty much in Doge. Not the biggest volume, though, participation, at least via Bittrex. But yeah, like we were looking at the other day, the weekly, I mean, with the DMI at freaking 80 is by far the highest it's ever been. What was this back here? 60 was the last one. And that seems to be about the usual threshold here and right here. But it's hyped up. Dogecoin staying above the 100 level now. Mama's showing mad support right there in the 90 handle, right around 100. And this oscillator reset happened like we were discussing yesterday. Got a really nice pump out of it. We don't want to create a lower high, though, on the structure. Boom, boom. We want to take out this 160 area to get some continuation. And it looks like we could be doing it, though. It really does. I mean, this is set up. I mean, you couldn't get a better setup on the lower time frames. You definitely couldn't ask for one for Doge to have some continuation. All right, gold. Let's do monthly long term real quick because that's what we were talking about. Got a little distracted with the doji, the doggy coin. Monthly gold, 1835. You can see back over here too with this little kind of tweezer type pattern. That's a major pivot point. So gold actually does look really good on a monthly too, above like 1800. And ultimately, like we've talked about on the weekly too, that 1776 area down here. Great year. So that looks pretty damn good still. Just kind of riding it up. When you zoom in on gold, oh god, it's so noisy. We already did that earlier, so let's not do that again. Don't want to hurt our brains. But any kind of closures above that 1900 level on like weekly would probably get us back up here and to test some highs and maybe some all-time highs. But as you can see, there's a monthly spinny top on gold that did come to fruition, having a little about 10% correction, but right to the 10 simple cyan line. So could just be a little liquidity break before some continuation. Silver's monthly. Y'all know I've been pounding the table about the monthly chart on silver for a hot minute. Love everything about it. As long as it's above 22 bucks, I won't even think about being bearish on silver, period. And the daily showing that structure too here, kind of accepting prices. The market's kind of accepting the price on these highs from this run up all up here. So any kind of closure above this 29 level, especially on the daily time frame, would likely, very likely, oh my gosh, alert, I'm sorry about that, would very likely get us up into the mid 30s. That's kind of what we've been watching out for. But we got to see it close above there first, and preferably on the weekly. Precious metals are best viewed from afar, and by afar I mean high time frames. They're just noisy as shit. I mean, look even how noisy this is on a weekly. So, and dare you look at the daily, it's all over the place. But yeah, so setting up good, getting a little reset action. Daily is regaining the exponentials. Let's put back my lines. Yep, daily also regaining the strength in the power zone on the DMI. So this is setting up pretty well. On medium-term time frames, it really does need to hold like the 26 handle. Preferably like 2650 to 27. Anything below 2650, I would start to be slightly concerned for medium terms. But I got the big goggles on this one, long-term vision, and I'm really liking this chart for continuation up into at least mid-30s. And we start getting up there, hitting these two targets in the 40s, which is close to the all-time high, becomes a very real possibility. Because the monthly DMI looks really good, as does the RSI as well. So there's that. Platinum monthly, spinny top. Yeah, nothing. We already did kind of monthly on that earlier, so good to go. All right, awesome, sweet. There it is, getting it in. Oh, nice little bounce there on Bitcoin. That must have just happened when we went to the monthly charts. All right, cool. There we go. That's what we need to see. We need to get this follow through and not get some more closes back below this pivot point of 32.7. And so, yeah, when it went down there earlier, I just nibbled a little bit just to, because like, shit, why not? Easy risk management. We talked about it 10 minutes ago or whatever. But yeah, easy to let go, 5% risk down to whenever this candle closes below the 377 for this time frame for my trade, I'll get out of it and be done with it. And man, and if we get above this upper trend line, guys, it's probably going to get some continuation. So that is kind of exciting if you want to be bullish as hell. But we got to see it happen first. I'm pretty sure we'll get this resolution this week. Like official resolution, not this crap. Not this little Elon pump fake Mr. Beast. What is he? Mr. Beast Bitcoin burger selling guy now? I don't know, whatever. All right, awesome. Much love again. We're going to go again and say that because we almost gave it up, but I forgot that it was monthly closing time. And we only get to, you know, have long-term monthly views, obviously, once a month. So, got that one in. And I think that'll wrap it up. Much love. Happy trading. Let's get it in this week. Do not sleep in this week. Make sure you're on top of your shit. Make some notes. Get ready because this one should be a great week for some opportunity. All right, guys. I'll talk to y'all mañana. Peace.